Hello there and welcome back. Let's see how you can use Redis, which is deployed to in a Minikube environment. And basically what we would like to do is to use it to store values. So basically I've created this 3-pod Redis instance. I've exposed one of the pods, and I have installed with pip the Redis module. And if we import Redis, what we can do is the following. So basically we have to create an instance from the redis.redis, and for the host we have to specify the external IP, and for the port we use the 6379, and in the instance we can say that we want to set the value for the counter to 0, and basically it says that authentication is required, and the authentication is required because of the following. So Redis Python so auth, and it should come from the help Redis, and basically, yeah, this is the password that we have to specify, and I'm going to look for the password in the Redis stuff. So no password configured. vi redis.yaml, great. And if we go back here, we should be able to set the password to this one. And then we should be able to set the counter and use the instance that increase counter and instance that get counter. Alright, so what I would like to do is to develop a web application. I'm going to use this line, and basically I would like to have the following app.py. From Flask we are going to import the Flask, and from Redis we will import Redis, and we create our app which comes from the Flask base class, and we use this one, and the app.route will look like this: counter, and we will have an increase and a decrease context route. So increase and decrease, and what else should we do? Oh, this is fine for now. So counter, return Redis, get counter, and increase should use the Redis, or rather instance increase counter, and return OK, and we use here the instance as well, And I think this should be, this is going to be binary, and I'm not sure if this will work, but we will see. So decrease instance, decrease counter, and return awk, and if the name is equal to main, then we use the app.run on the host 0.0.0, and the port is going to be 5000, and the debug is equal to true. So technically this is how the application looks like. Python app.py, and if I open it in the browser, I should be able to reach the site, and if I use the counter, you can see that we have the value 1. We have increased it with a few times, reload the page, that's fine, and the decrease counter. Alright, so now what we would like to do is to add some extra functionality. Basically, there are two ways when you can use, or how you can use this context route. So if I say I want to have another app.route and specify that this is going to belong to the counter string name, then I have to specify a name as argument, which is going to be none by default, and if name, if not name, then I return the instance, and then if, or rather else, if not instance.get, then what I would like to do is to specify the name and say that instance.set name 0, else I would like to return the instance.get name. So by default, if I run this app, we will see the following. If I don't specify a counter, you will see that it will return the value for the counter itself. And if I specify the name of the counter, it will return 0, which is going to be a new counter which is created. So now what I would like to do is to increase the value of a counter and decrease it. So app.route increase string name, name is none by default, and if not name, so if we don't specify the name, we will increase the default counter. Otherwise, if not instance.get name, then we return a string stating that no such counter. Otherwise, what we would like to do is to increase the counter and based on the name and return OK. So let's run it. So if I say that I would like to increase the Danny, it will say that it's okay. If I want to increase something which is non-existent, it says that it's non-existent. And if I get the counter for Danny, it shows us the value. Now let's implement this logic for the decrease. App.route decrease string name, and the name is going to be none. And basically it's the same logic, so if not name, then instance decrease counter. Otherwise, if not instance get name, then we return no such counter, and else we will use the instance decrease name, and we return OK. So let's run it. Let's check if we can decrease the Danny. Okay, and the counter shows 4. And if I say that I want a new counter and I want to increase it, then get its value, you will see that this is working. So all this is done with the help of the Redis, which is running inside our Minikube instance. So this is how you can use Redis with a Python application. That was all. See you in the next one.